there's been a tremendous mortality shift. We became part of what's called the world's first death-free generation. If you go back 80, 100 years, by the time you were 10 years old, you'd been to 50 funerals. Today, you'll meet people in their 40s, maybe 50s, their parents may be alive, maybe their grandparents. But the price we pay for that is we've almost think we can kind of go around death instead of through it. Some people think, well, when I died, just get rid of me, not have a ceremony. But I always say when words are inadequate, have a ceremony, because ceremony helps you know what to do when you do not know what to do.
I'm an only child, so I had no idea what to do. I walked in and they gave me a hug, which I really needed. They brought me in a room and they sat me down and they're like, okay, breathe. We're going to take care of you and take care of everything. And I thought, wonderful. First of all, we need to get obituaries going for the papers and things like that. I said, okay, how do we go about that? She says, I have it for you already. They contacted the CPP, just everything that you could think of.
A lot of people don't know where to go to get those things done. They don't know what's available.
They don't know where to call to cancel social insurance numbers, to get Canada Pension death benefits going. Some people don't even realize that they're eligible for that.
Just by simply putting their mind at ease and letting them know, don't worry, by the end of this meeting, it'll all be answered, taken care of, and handled so that you don't have to worry about a thing.
We're allowing families to start their grief journey. We're there to make it easy on the family.
I always ensure that our family's loved ones are brought into our care as soon as possible for, our peace of mind as well as for the families.
We are usually at the place if someone dies at home or in a hospice within 1 hour. And 2 of our team members go to make sure that it's very dignified and that everything happens exactly as it should.
Families first is just that. It's families first. It's not about us. It's about us helping you.
A funeral isn't only for the person that's died, but it's mostly for the living.
Being able to celebrate the life of someone that they love, it allows for a confirmation to really realize that the death has occurred.
To step back, to remember the life of the person who has lived, because if they don't in the future, their grieving process will be hampered greatly.
We usually do it at a funeral home because it's a safe environment. It allows you to have your community, your friends, your co-workers to acknowledge that this has happened in your life so that they can continue to support you through your grief, your journey.
To be able to be in a safe place to talk about that person, share with everybody who they are, who they were, and to create the memories to help them continue on.
A very important part of visitation and memorializing somebody is starting that grieving process where people can start learning how to live day to day with the loss of somebody they love and somebody that's important to them.
It helps you find a new normal.
Grieving doesn't go away. It's an ongoing process, and it does take time.
Time just helps us deal with the pain. You always want to remember that person.
You have to grieve because you know you're not going to spend more time with that person. But it is about celebrating the life that was lived.
January 7th, 2015. One of the most unfortunate things that can happen to a family happened to us. My brother Brett Beliveau, at 44, passed. We showed up there unannounced. We were met at the door by Jennifer. Just being with her, we felt an amazing amount of relief and comfort. What she walked us through just helped us at a time that there's no words to describe.
Families first walked us through every step of the way.
We're trying new things all of the time to find ways to help celebrate the person's life, whether it's in picture or in printed matter. There's a lot of things that we can do. So it's about offering options and choices when we listen to what they have to say.
We help them to understand what their choices are to make the funeral not cookie cutter, but rather very personal. It's to let them share who that person was.
We really try to bring that forward in our arrangement and especially in the visitation room.
So bring in that Harley Davidson that they were always known to be in, and don't put them in a suit, put them in their riding gear. It's about that person.
My dad had passed away. He was a man with true class, and he left with true class.
And they allowed us to do everything the way we wanted him to go.
The clothes that we picked out for him, we told him it was very important that every piece had to be on him, because in our family it was matching, and the shoes, it had to be perfect with the tie, with the puff. From the person that drove us, that picked up the flowers, that brought the suit, everything. Unbelievable. I have never experienced anything like that.
Everything they do from their heart. It didn't matter whether it was get somebody a glass of water or when it was all said and done and they carried Roland's ashes out to the car and pulled the seatbelt over to keep him secure in the back seat. Those are the things that you want and hope you get from a funeral home.
The way we take care of our families weeks later or even months later, we're always there for them.
We've been known to pick up dry cleaning for people. We certainly, pick up items of personalization at their home and we bring it here and then we deliver it back to them after. Families are used to coming back and picking up their flowers and picking up their books and cards. They never do that with us. We deliver it to them.
All those little things that we do, you don't get that at a lot of places.
It's through mourning that we integrate loss into our lives. We're forever transformed, we're forever changed. Your life is going to be very different without somebody that was part of it who's no longer here. So we need to help you not only mourn their death, but mourn loss aspect of yourself, and often a lost sense of meaning and purpose. Many people in North American culture these days grieve, but they don't necessarily have safe people and safe places to mourn. But families first knows that their responsibility in the community doesn't end with the funeral, but to provide education and support to families after the death as well.
Working in a funeral home environment helps you to understand that every moment that we have is precious. We might as well live it and enjoy the moment and do the best we can for other people.
It's families first in everything we do.
Without question, my brother looking down on us would have been very, very proud about the way he was presented and the way people would have seen him in his last days here. That meant a lot to us.
Brett always liked the best. He would have been so proud because that was the best funeral.
When my grandpa passed, I was able to be with my family and know that everything was being taken care of. It was so personalized. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I think a lot of people in that room had even experienced.
This could have been the other worst day of my life, but with these folks, it didn't feel that way.